Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA with me, Seamus Brady, and I have Luke Payton here with me again as always. The two hosts of Play on GAA are back once again. Luke, it's been a year now since we started Play on GAA. Just realised that over the last week. I've really enjoyed it. What have you made of it all so far?
Yeah. Look, I've enjoyed it, and look, it's great to see the channel's kind of grown in that year as everything as well. So yeah, look, delighted with how it's gone so far, and look, yeah, hopefully keep going strength to strength.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see where we go from here. Obviously, the games over the weekend were great. There's two videos separate on the Kerry Limerick, the Dublin Kildare, and then there will be another one on the Galway Roscommon, as well as a video rounding up all of the action which happened in the Tailteann Cup over the weekend. But this video is about the Derry versus Donegal Ulster Final. It finished Derry 1-16, Donegal 1-14 after extra time. Derry winning their first Ulster title since 1998. Some fantastic performances by Derry. Brendan Rodgers, of course, winning man of the match. Chrissy McKay had Paddy McBurty in his pocket throughout the entire game. Derry really neutralised the Donegal half-back line. Michael Murphy was relatively kept quiet by Brendan Rodgers for long spells anyway. And then the 2 points at the end by Brendan Rodgers and Conor Glass right at the end of extra time. Derry are Ulster champions for 2022. Luke, they are a side that they've been our second team almost, Derry. We've really enjoyed watching them go strength to strength for a side that were in Division 4 only a few years ago, really. I mean, and looked really in the mud. This is quite a turnaround.
Yeah, look, and they've won it the hard way as well. Look, everyone's been talking about the teams they've had to beat in the way, Tyrone, Monaghan, and then Donegal the final. Like, you can't have done it any harder way. So look, full credit to them for when you go that route and when you win those games. There's no doubt that you deserve to win Ulster as well. Look, no point suggesting that it was in any way a good game. It was probably one of the poorest games I think I've watched in a long time. But look, it was there to be won, and you can't put that at Derry's feet as well. They were the underdogs coming into it. You can understand that they'd set up a bit kind of cautiously. It's Donegal that's kind of like that they could just continuously seem to play a worse and worse style year on year. But look, when the game was there to be won in extra time, Derry played a lot better stuff. They showed more drive and everything as well. And I suppose in a weird way, they were kind of led by their backs that you mentioned already, Rodgers, McKay, McKinless as well. A lot of them just driving forward is where they got a lot of joy from. So, yeah, look, I think it's a great result for Derry. Huge achievement for them as well, but not a classic.
Yeah, no, definitely a classic in terms of the way that it ended and the significance of those last 2 points. But yeah, in terms of the style of play, definitely not. And I mean, throughout, you mentioned there the Derry defenders. Another shout out, Conor Doherty, I thought was fantastic throughout. Picked up Ryan McHugh in the first half, kept him quiet, then picked up Peter Morgan in the second half, kept him quiet. So he's a fantastic half back there for Derry as well. And throughout the game, I was making a point of this on Aaron GA Fan TV, his podcast. Donegal had it at a stage where they were 1-9 to 1-7 ahead after Shane O'Donnell pointed. That was in the 43rd minute. And at that stage, Derry play a game which is very much reliant in that stage on being in front. They rely on teams to come at them, then catch them on the counter. Donegal had a situation there where they're 2 points in front with, heading into the final quarter of the game. And Luke, from this position, they went ahead time and time again, yet they never managed to shut the game out. And they showed such basic mistakes. I mean, you think of Sean Patton's kick out to Stephen McMenamin at the end. McMenamin very lucky there, in my opinion, not to get a black card. In my opinion, he absolutely should have got a black card for that. They kind of let Derry back into the game many, many times. And in my opinion, should have lost it in normal time. Conor Glass should have put that ball over the bar right at the end to win it for Derry in normal time. But like, what is this with Donegal? They've so much talent, so much experience. Yet what happened? Did it get to their head?
No, I think it's just physically ingrained in them that this style of play, and that look, if you're coaching a kids team, you wouldn't instruct them to do what they were going to do. Like if you're coming up against a blanket defense, the way to get around the blanket defense is that you move the ball quickly, you use a bit of wit, and look, when you have a bit of trouble, you hit the focal point and full forward, and you play a long ball in. Donegal have the best man in the country for that in Murphy. That it's literally the answer is screaming out in front of them that like fair enough if you want to have him around the midfield for the time, but you at least vary it up a little bit and you send him in for about 10 minutes and you keep Derry guessing. Instead, they just let him go out there. Brendan Rodgers followed him. Instead, Brendan Rodgers put him on the back foot and hit him for 3 points as well. It justifies belief, really. And it's frustrating considering that if Donegal played a fast style of play and moved the ball quickly before teams can get set into that defensive structure, they'd have a full forward line of McBrearty, Murphy and Brennan, and they'd have a huge amount of scores that will come from it as well. And look, and I think as soon as Bonner is inevitably removed from that position in Donegal, I think they're going to be a far, far better team, because I think whatever is being said up there and the philosophy and everything as well is absolutely destroying that team. And you look at some of the link players between McHugh, Mogan, Langan, all these players as well, to get them as well. There's serious talent in that team. And it's actually pretty much a crime what's being done up there, because it's an absolutely shocking style. Look, it's summed up in the last 2 minutes of the game, where Donegal, all they could do was to hold on to the ball, but inevitably work a scoring chance at the last kick of the game. And if they had that they could have worked the ball up on 73 minutes, and taken a shot on to try and win it. If you miss it, still goes to extra time anyway. But what they do, they just pass it backwards and then wait for the whistle to go for extra time. Like, it was, it's the most lackluster, I think, performance in the final thing I think I've ever seen. And the fact that for a team to just not go for it in the last 2 minutes of a game, like, it's just bizarre, really. And look, I know it's probably harsh, like, based on, like, it's an amateur game and everything as well, but there has to be a change in management there as well, because look, these players are just being wasted really at the moment.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It's harsh, but I agree. I think Bonner's not the man, and Murphy only has a few years left, if even. So I think absolutely, while they have him here, they need to bring in a manager that is going to take advantage of the unbelievable attacking talent that they have. Like, we never see Oisin Gallen. Conor O'Donnell's got absolutely no minutes in the championship so far compared to how good he was in the league. Like, it's just, yeah, you're right. They're not getting the best out of Donegal. Absolutely not. And an attacking manager brought in, I think, could really, really spice up that Donegal team and make them All-Ireland contenders.
But even just somebody that, like, just, you'd imagine that after this doesn't work the first year of when Bonner came in, that after the first year, when the slow kind of build up and playing the way which they were when it didn't work, like, you don't have to completely abandon it. You can just move the ball quicker, hand pass quicker as well. You've got players that come from deep as well, kind of Owen Gallagher as well. These type of players, they're far better when you move the ball quickly. And this whole thing about passing sideways out around the midfield line while a team is allowed to get set up in their position, it just doesn't make any sense at all. And the only way, if you're going to play up in Ulster, where every team pretty much plays with a strong kind of defense with numbers back there as well, the only way to beat it is either go over it or to move it before they get set quickly. And look, they just continuously decide that they're going to just drag themselves into a game on every occasion. Like, yeah, you're going to win some of them as well, because when you go into one of these games with a basketball pattern, it's going to be about 11, 10, 12, 11 or something at the end of each game. But you're never going to blitz a team ever. And that's why Donegal will never win anything with the way they are at the moment.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And so obviously take it from that, Donegal not All-Ireland contenders, but Derry themselves, I mean, huge momentum behind Derry. Obviously Kerry and Dublin are number 1 and number 2 in whatever way you want to put them. But Derry there is a number 3. And do you think they could potentially catch one of the top 2 on a day? Like, do you think they have, obviously assuming that they make it through the quarterfinal, do you think that they could really, really have a crack at the All-Ireland now?
I don't think so, no. I think, look, I think they're well set up and everything as well, but I'd have them behind Galway, even Mayo, and possibly Roscommon as well. I don't think that I don't think that they'll be factors later on in the year. I think that, look, they've had a really good year, and they've won Ulster, which will be a big thing for them as well, and that's huge progress for them as well. But I would fear for them when they go up against a Kerry or Dublin. I think they're about 10 points behind the two of them at the moment, I think. And look, they're a well disciplined side and everything as well. But I do think when they get up to Croke Park, they're going to struggle more.
Yeah, well, I think the big pitch is definitely going to be something that Gallagher will have to account for. The playing surface and everything. But then again, it would be really interesting to see Chrissy McCabe pick up a David Clifford or a Conor O'Callaghan and to see how he would do on those types of forwards. But yeah, Derry Ulster champions for the first time since 1998. They won by 116 to 114 after extra time in probably one of the most strange games I think I've ever seen. Highly dramatic, but highly boring at the same time. Derry Ulster champions. Massive congratulations to them. Massive congratulations to Rory Gallagher, one of the stories of the decade, a team that were in Division 4 a few years ago and now Kings of Ulster. Guys, that is the video here. We hope you enjoyed. Keep an eye out for all the other content here on Play on GAA, including the Tailteann Cup videos and the other reviews of all the provincial finals. Keep an eye out for it all. And until the next one, guys, take care.